Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yasha Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yasha Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Wanna be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim, homicide ain't the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms, never getting treatment. Something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long, it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them brothers I'm facing east with. Cause I'm an Israelite, crackers better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death flow through my dreams at night. If your mind ain't there, then we don't dream alike. Reporting live from hell, home of Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yasha Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yasha Allah to all my Israelites.
While they play the sidelines, comfortable on benches. Catch me on the front lines, putting work in trenches. Making sure our election, preparing for Armageddon. Mastering this profession of prophesying these lessons. Protecting our adolescents and answering all their questions. Teaching the love they reflection, no matter what the complexion. We got a common connection, a part of God's hand selection. A shot at the resurrection, through us achieving perfection. But to give life takes sacrifice. Battle demons every vice. Short days and long nights. Less sleep and more fights. More wisdom, more strife. Telling everybody that they wrong and you're right. I'm an Israelite, blood of an Israelite. I ride for my Israelites and die for my Israelites. We owe a debt cause Christ paid the price. So who ready to give their life the life of an Israelite?
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yasha Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yasha Allah to all my Israelites.
Till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars. I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament.
It's up.
I'm live.
Live?
I'm really good.
You might gotta refresh or something. But we good. I'm looking at us.
I see you now. I see you now. Islam Yahweh Shem Yahshua Thumb Yahweh Shema Al Thumb Shem Yahshua. Right? Puerto Rico, sister Yahweh so this is what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna talk about like this, like Eddie says about Edom. Okay? Now, afterwards, the brother's going to pull up some images that I thought that would be good for everybody to see something. Now, these images that I looked, they old 1390s, 13-somethings, 14-something images, right? And they come from Europe. Okay? These images, as the brother brings them up, when I ask him to, I'll go into a little bit of it. But in the meantime, I'm going to get Genesis, the 25th chapter, the 21st verse. Isla. Right? Isla. Whenever you get the opportunity, give me Genesis, 25th chapter. And we'll start at the 21st verse, right? We're going to talk about this. Right? This is a problem on earth. Right? This is a headache for Israelites, right? Edom is a headache for Israelites. We're all black lives marching, and we're still seeing the same thing. People are still getting killed, right? People are still dying, right? Knees are still being put on the necks. Right? People getting arrested just because. Brothers and sisters still getting profiled while driving black, while walking black, while walking brown and driving brown. It's still happening. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, the people those oppressors who fronted like they Black Lives Matter to them, and you still see them sing the same song on Black Lives Matter, but if Black lives really matter, then why they don't take the 3/5 of man out of the Constitution? And why they don't stop gentrifying the black neighborhood and the brown neighborhood? Right? Why they don't stop imprisoning brothers and sisters by the gazillions? If Black lives matter. Apparently it does not matter. You know what I'm saying? There's only one power in existence where black lives do matter, and that's the most high power. Jesus Christ and Commanding General Han in the ISUPK. Everywhere else, black life does not matter. I know that brothers and sisters might have some good intent, right? Might want to speak up of the injustices that's happening to us, but reality is you're still getting arrested and you're still getting shot. So all that effort, all the protests, it was damn near for naught. You know what I'm saying? And of course, every institution in the sports, right? Did you see them take a knee the other day? Baseball? Yeah, you can see it. You see every teammate in that game that I saw. I didn't see the game, but I saw like the pictures of it. But both teams, the visiting and the home team, both take knees. You know what I'm saying? It's good business. It's good promotion. It's a good photo op. But brothers are still getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Children are still going missing. Why? Because there's a problem on earth. That problem comes in the form of a red devil by the name of Esau, who is the Edomites of the Bible, who are our oppressors, who are the conquistadors, the white man. You got an issue, Kawan? What's going on? Speak to me.
Trying to get these pictures up, but they're not coming up for some reason.
Okay, I'll tell you if you need to. I'll just tell you where to go. You can pick them up at that. Just open up the search, type in. Well, I'll tell you.
No, I have them on the computer.
But you just can't bring them up.
They won't come up in OBS out. I ain't never seen this before.
All right. There's a secondary solution to this. Don't worry about it. So for now, let's read Genesis 25th chapter. Start at the 21st verse, please.
Come. This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 21.
Now let me give a scenario before you continue. This is the last two nations that were built, that were made, or that were born on the earth, shall I say, right? You had the one Edomites and you had Jacob, who later became Israel, right? I say Jacob because that's where we come out of, you know, from Isaac, from Abraham, right? So the last two nations, right? Now read.
Come. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife.
Because why? His wife was having issues in her womb. Why? Because she wouldn't be able to, she was barren. So the Lord opened up her womb. Now she was able to get pregnant, but here's the situation. There was a situation going on within her belly, and it said Isaac entreated the Lord for what?
For his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
There it is, right? So barren means she was unable to give birth to children. She couldn't come out pregnant, right? She was sterile, right? Is that the modern term? Right? She was sterile. Isaac went and entreated of the Lord, right? Went where? To a man of the Lord. That's how you entreat of the Lord. You go to a man of the Lord and tell him the situation, and guess what happened? Now he gets to tell you what the Lord said. Right? So now the womb was open. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
That's key. That's important. That's something that we all need to face. This reality. This problem that we have started there. Right? Read that line again.
Come. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
You see that? Right there. The children are struggling together inside of Rebekah. It wasn't a situation where it was calm. It was a situation where there was some struggling, some fighting. Right? And if only brothers and sisters that are in the church can see this, can see how this issue that we have with our presence started from there. Keep going.
Come. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
So she go and inquire of the Lord, right? Go to her husband, tell her, and boom, get the answer from the Lord. If it be so, why am I thus? Like you want to know, hey, why this happened? Why is all this movement in my stomach? What's going on here? And here's what the Lord said.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Stop right there. That's important. It's saying 2 nations is in thy womb, right? What the word nation by definition means.
Races.
Right, races. 2 kinds of races. 2 kinds of race. You have the one race and you have the other race. Right? Keep going.
Come. And 2 manner of people shall
Stop
be.
right there. Now, if you confuse 2 nations and don't understand it means race, go come back and says 2 manner of what?
2 manner of people.
2 manner of people means 2 kinds of people. 2 different kinds of people is in your womb. Go ahead.
Shall be separated from thy
what?
Shall be separated.
Shall be what?
Shall be separated.
So, even from here, the Lord is telling us we to be separated, right? From that womb. Shall be separated from thy womb is what it's saying. Not come together in the rainbow coalition. Not join hand in hand like Martin Luther King and them. But separated. Keep going.
From thy bowels.
Uh-huh.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Right? And here's scientific proof, right? And here's something to bring out. Science proves that the Lord exists, right? Like John Muhammad says, right? And just reading that statement right there shows that science proves that the Lord exists. He's saying the one people shall be stronger than the other, right? Clearly, as far as doing amazing physical feats, blacks and brown people have been doing it like something incredible, right? We do it the best. Music, right? Sports, right? Cooking, and on top of that, when there's problems, do not we endure with all the headaches? And we've been enduring this headache for the last 400 plus years in this oppressive state. Right? We've been lynched, right? We've been lynched. We've been skinned. where shoes and purses were made out of our bodies, right? Our families have been burnt alive. Our families have been separated. We've been incarcerated. There have been chemical warfare against us, right? In the form of smallpox, in the form of crack, in the form of heroin, in the form of drugs, right? There have been guns in our neighborhoods, right? We've been kicked out of our homes, put in the streets with all our belongings, right? Yet here we are. We still endure with all that. We go ahead.
If I could, I just wanted to add. Also, we've been broke forever, and if the other nation, if the Edomites were broke like we were, they would have killed themselves.
I was about to jump in the gun, but I was about to say that. What? But you are absolutely right. Had it been the other way around, they would have already committed massive suicide. Just look. All you gotta do is sometime when the stock market ain't doing great, go to Wall Street. You see a lot of them start flying. Because they lost all their millions.
Right.
Like in their mind, they could never be broke. That all like we can have $2 and lose it all. And yeah, we'll be bitter. Yeah, we'll be this and that, but we'll still linger. They can't see themselves as being poor like that. And guess what? The ones that are poor right now, you think they're having it easy in their mind? A lot of them are going crazy because they didn't live. Proof. Shut down the country for 3 months. How did they start acting? Where the Karens and cows are coming out of? Out of the woodwork, right? Protesting and complaining and crying and cursing us out and stalking us and doing all kinds of things. You don't have to believe me. Just go on social media. There's episodes of cows, there's episodes of Karens, all over the damn place. The Lord said the one people shall be stronger than what?
Than the other people.
The other, right? So the one shall be stronger than the other. That's clearly talking. The strong is clearly talking about the children of Israel. Clearly. And the weak is clearly talking about Edom. Keep going.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
Now, the first one that comes out that womb will serve the younger. And that's a prophecy that was said then, back in the days of our forefather Isaac, back in the days of our forefather Abraham. They're going to serve the younger. We the younger. Okay? Keep going.
Come. Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
See, so now, this is the struggle of two manner of people, two nations, and these two were twins. So yeah, let me make it clear. Black people are not related to Africans. But black people are more related to white people. The unfortunate part, but it is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nothing African in you Negroes or West Indians or Asians. You don't got an African bone in you. You got no kind of Hamite blood bone in you. You ain't them. Get over it. It's reality. You know what I'm saying? I know our president taught us for a long time, even us Puerto Ricans, that you got part Indian, part African, part Spaniard in you. That's what they teach us in the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? And that's all damn lie. You are what your father is. Straight up and down. You could be dark as hell, but if your daddy's white, guess what? You're a white boy and you're dark skinned. Just an Oreo cookie. You know what I'm saying? That's all you are. Alright? Is that it? And the days to be fulfilled, go ahead.
Verse 25. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment.
You gotta understand the mindset of the Lord to put that clue in the Bible. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And I know in America, they like to tag the redskin to our brothers, the Native American Indians. But I'm here to tell you, if you look up and close to a Native Indian, he don't look red. He might blush a little, you know what I'm saying? But he's more of a brown copper type of color. Straight up and down. But ain't no red about it. Now, there is a red man on the the earth. They just look pink, different shades, but they call pink today. I don't think that word might exist today. But this is red, as you see this book is I'm pointing to. That's red, and it becomes various shades of this color. All right, from light to a hot red. It said the first came out red. Another clue, all over like a hairy garment. Now, when we teach our people that the hairy people on the earth are who? The Caucasians. Some people be like, oh, but that ain't true. That's well, listen, through generations and generations of intermingling with other people and Gillette and what's the other? Wilkinson sword blades. You can shave off the hairiness. Now they even got lasers to help them shave off their hairiness. Right? But if you can't pull up that image, go on, right? You perhaps could go within that program and pull up a web, open up a web browser and look up European wild men. European wild men.
I can open it up. I just can't put it online.
You can't put it online for some reason?
I can't. I had to reboot the PC. I think something.
All right, so this is what I've got to do. I'm going to go on my phone, right? Go on my phone, and I'm going to have to pull it up myself, and then pass it. Where's the camera? Right here? Right?
You want to pass it to me, sir?
Yeah, if you could.
Okay.
You get a few images, right? Now focus on when the scripture said, red all over like a hairy garment. I want everybody to focus on that. Right? Now, of course, they try to hide themselves and say this is all a myth, this is all lies, blah, 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 blah. Right? And the reality is, it ain't a myth. The Edomites are hairy. That's just what it is. You get used to it. You just hairy people, not here. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. Good. Put it right there in the camera. Right?
Up, son.
All right. Let's give it a little minute to bring it up. You got it right there? Is it good?
Yeah.
Right there. So now you're good. Leave it right there for a second. You see clearly to the right. If you bring it just a little bit closer, I want people to see. Just bring it a little bit closer to the camera. A little bit more closer. What eyelids on? Just bring it more closer.
Nah, it's
Stop right there. Right there.
The leg.
Right? Right there's good. Right there. All right. Now you go back that way. All right? You go back that way. Right there. What I want them to see is the guy on the right. Isn't he not red and hairy? Now let me give you another one. All right, this is an old picture also, very old.
Pass it to me.
Kind of like faded. If you saw it through there, faded. All right. You see clearly on the left side, once again, red and hairy. Read that line again.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
Now let's get rid of it. Give me the phone again. Let me show you another one. Give me my phone, pass it up. Let me show it to you. Another one. You people just go ahead and look this up, right? This is another one. All right. We'll just show those three for now. Right? And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. No, it's not a myth. When you go online, they try to say it's a myth. It is not a myth. The Edomites naturally are hairy. God is not lying. It's in the Bible. You can clearly see in the image the short man is trying to fight that big, tall, hairy Edomite. He's hairy all over. You understand? If you give me the phone, that's clear. By the way, the Bible did not lie. The Lord did not lie. He told you what it is. Right? He said what it is. Let me see if I get one more nice good one. Oh, there's one I want y'all to see. And this image I'm going to show you, prove ain't a lie. Give me a second. Right here. Right here. We might have to zoom in a little bit. That's it, just like this sideways. Once upon a time, black people, not every black man was in Africa. As you can see in the image you're about to see right now, there were black people ruling Europe. And here it is, black people, as you can see, fighting Esau. Alright, which shows up. This image, this is an old image. You can see the black folks there towards the right and the Edomites towards the left. And you clearly see all of Edomites are hairy. Right? And this is in Europe. That's 12. That's 12. Come on. Now for the rest, just go look it up. Right? I want to send this one to you out there. Throw that out on the wall. Right. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. What the scripture says. Is there any more? Go ahead.
And they called his name Esau.
How you say Esau? Ishaw in Hebrew. What does it mean? Wasted away. Why is that? Because he had no pigmentation in the skin. He was red all over, like a hairy garment. Alright? That's what the scriptures say. And I just show you some image, clearly what the Lord has shown us in the scriptures about Esau. He's a hairy Neanderthal. Okay? Now, let's go to Job 30. Let's go to Job 30. We're going to read a little bit there. And then I'm going to read, I don't know if a lot of brothers know about this, but there's a declaration besides the one that they signed the Constitution, which was the Declaration of Independence. Right? There's a white man's Constitution. Did anybody know that? Besides the Constitution that you do know. And it's called just that, white man's Constitution. And I'm going to read it for you, brothers and sisters. I'm going to read a few lines so you can understand what's in the mind of these Edomites. All right? Read Job 30 and 30. What happened here? Online, if you got questions, YouTube and Facebook, send them in. All right? Go ahead.
This is Job chapter 30, verse 30.
Right.
My skin is black upon me.
No. Go to the first verse.
This is Job chapter 30, verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision.
Have me in derision. They that are younger than I have me in derision, is what Job is saying. He's talking about a people. These people called Edomites. They have him in derision. Keep going.
Whose fathers I would have disdained to have sat with the dogs of my flock.
Right? So he's saying that he would not these people to be not even be the dogs of his flock. Why is that? Because you know they need to be CID too. You already know that about Edomites?
Come on.
You better get used to it. Some Edomites out there do it to horses, they do it to donkeys, they do it to dogs. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of nastiness. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 2. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished.
Keep going.
Verse 3. For what and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste.
Because where is this place desolate and waste?
It's like, is it caves?
Yeah, exactly. It's a wasteland.
Okay.
It's desolate of nutrients, desolate of everything you need as far as to survive. It's talking about the caves, Mount Seir, the Caucasus Mountains.
Okay.
Keep going.
Verse 4. Who cut up mellows by the bushes, and juniper roots for their meat. Verse 5. They were driven forth from among men.
That's what happened. Why were they driven forth from among men? Go ahead.
They shouldn't be around men. They're violent.
Why? That is true. Why?
Violence.
Exactly. For the same reason as today. You gotta understand, the world, the whole planet right now is not at ease because of the Edomites. That's why they put them up in them caves. That's why they put them away from everything. That's why the Lord gave them the mountains, right, the caves as their inheritance. If you could pull up that picture of this place called Petra, Petra. You can pull it up and show the people. That's Mount Seir. Can't pull it up?
I can pull it up. I just can't show them.
Right, okay. That's an issue right there. But anyway, if y'all get an opportunity, go look up Petra. Okay? Go look up Petra. Petra. That's Mount Seir. There they went to the Caucasus Mountains. Right? Because nobody wanted them around. Why? Because of the same reason, same things that are happening today. These people don't leave anybody. They're like marauders. Don't leave anybody alone. You know what I'm saying? They're like a living and breathing disease, a virus. Keep going. That's why he's saying they were driven forth from among men because of their murderous ways, their terrorist ways. And you can clearly see it in Cameron and Cows. Come on now. You don't see those videos how the brother might be trying just to deliver. Before I see the video, brother worked for one of those delivery apps. He did trying to deliver food, and Karen would not let him in the building he's supposed to deliver food, even though he tells her clearly, I'm delivering for apartment such and such, right? And pushes the button and calls the person who owned the food, that ordered the food, and yet the Karen didn't want to let the brother in, giving him a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, they'll come, if they deliver to us, we treat them kind. You know what I'm saying? I even seen Arabs treating them kind and giving them money and all this. But they don't treat nobody like that. Keep going.
It's the end of verse 5. They cried after them as after a thief.
Get out of here. Go. Shoving them up into the mountains. Go ahead.
Verse 6. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in rocks.
Right. Don't that sound like Fred Flintstone? The cruise, right? That's what that means. The animation called cruise. Right? cave dwellers. Keep going.
Con. Verse 7. Among the bushes, they brayed.
What does it mean to be the brave? Let's look up the definition. All right. Come for the word brave, right? So they brayed, meaning it says among the bushes they brayed. You know what does that mean?
Nah.
Meaning they be like making loud sounds with their mouth, like oh, like the caveman, the unga bunga.
Con.
That's that. That's what it means. Right? Here it is, right? It says that brave, right? Simple or past particle of brave, to make loud, unpleasant noise. Right? Keep going.
Con. Under the nettles, they were gathered together. Verse 8. They were children of fools.
Children of fools, right? So the Lord said in Deuteronomy that there are no people. Children of fools. You know what I'm saying? And it's heavy that the Lord's saying that because we look at them as very highly intelligent people, right? Now, how you gonna be highly intelligent and poison the water? The very water you know you got to drink. Poison the food. The very food you know you gotta eat from, right? And the meats, right? Poison the air, the very air that you know you need to breathe, to get oxygen, to live. You gotta be a stupid fool to do those things. And many others. Go ahead.
Right. So pretty much Esau was where they were the only Neanderthals.
Yeah.
So
That's them.
we weren't them. Like we weren't Neanderthals at all. Like no other race.
It might have been okay. I want to say no other race is fine. Neanderthals, there might have been humans who weren't on that level like that.
Come.
In the creation time. That's why the Lord chose Adam to set a standard so that way that everybody could live like a person. Because back then, what was people doing? Whatever crawled on the earth, right? They go eat it. Right? Instead of riding the horse, they were eating the horse. You see that? The Lord made it where now you had to follow these rules. That's why he chose Adam and put him over them. So that way he can teach them this is how to live. But with Esau's case, right, being that he was put into the mountains, just think Smeagol. You see the Lord of the Rings? Just think just the same way.
Okay.
You see how Smeagol walked on his forest? Like that. That's how they would. Don't believe me. Go look at those pictures. Later on, put on European woodmen. You have some pictures of them walking on all fours. Very hairy, but some of them walking literally on all fours. Keep going.
Verse 8. They were children of fools, yea, children of basemen.
See, basement meaning they're the low. That's what it means to be basement. You're very low. You're low down. Go ahead.
They were viler. They were viler than the earth.
Disgusting. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And now I am their song. Yea, I am their byword.
Right, so now think about that. These people who come from the caves, right, who ate out of their grandparents' skulls, right, and whatever crawled in the crevices, that's what they would eat. They were hairy, they were smelly, they grunted, they walked on all fours, and now these very same people calling me a spick and you a nigger, and they were wetback. The very same people who's accusing us just for being brown skinned and black skin, well, not anybody black skin, but for technical teaching purposes, that is black and brown skin. You know what I'm saying? Or red skin, right? Like the way they call Gad and Reuben. You know? Keep going.
Verse 10, Salak, so if I could.
Go ahead.
It's a cartoon movie that my son always watch called The Good Dinosaur.
Yes.
The little boy.
Yeah.
And I always be looking like, I wonder if that's how they were. Like, if that's how they walked around when they all...
Like, you see how the little kids, that's how they were doing.
That's heavy.
They had to get taught how to use a spoon and fork. The Israelites taught them how to do that.
This is verse 10. They abhor me.
What does it mean, abhor? It's an action. Go ahead.
To just hate, to treat.
Not hate.
Not hate, Salaki. To just to treat. Salaki.
To cause pain. To cause a suffering. But when the Lord told us not to avoid eating, but He told us not to hurt them. Don't cause them no pain. Why? Because the Lord got first days on them. Right? And so that way it can be justified. We didn't touch you, you touched us. You caused us pain. You abhorred us. We didn't do it to you. So now it's a just punishment that they are going to get from the Lord. Go ahead.
They flee far from me and spare not to spit in my face.
See that? Does that now bring with all the social media? How many brothers, black and brown people you seen where Esau would spit in their face? Go ahead.
Like with doing like the whole civil rights thing. When blacks were trying to get into the school with them, when they would walk to the school, spit in their face.
There you go. I seen one like that a few days ago. Spit right in the dude's face. You know? Go ahead.
So all right. So when the Most High say, don't abhor them, don't abhor Edom.
Don't know how to.
But it say because they were your brother. Do we add the part of them because they were your brother?
Because if you consider, right, the twins, that's what makes them our brothers. Right? Even though they're a different race of people. Right? The purpose was so that way they could be justified by them doing wrong to us, right? They was going to get punishment. Just like who else? Who else was brothers and the one got punished for doing something wrong to the other one?
Cain.
And who else? What was his brother's name? Abel, right? Right? There were sacrifices that were supposed to be given to the Lord, right? Abel did the right thing. He gave the animals, the clean animal sacrifice. And Cain just didn't give a damn. He gave the Lord whatever. Right? Since Abel was doing the right thing and Cain was doing the wrong thing, he got so into his self, right? And killed his own brother, murdered him. Right? Without the one doing anything to him. Just because he did the right thing, you're gonna go kill him. And it's so today in that how much trying to get the word right way to say it. How many times do we treat Esau with dignity and respect? All the time, right? All the time. Like it's not the truth. The truth makes you see these things. How many times you about to get boot kissed, and here comes some Israelite, whether it be male or female? No, don't do that, man. That's wrong. You shouldn't do that. And yet they force us to lay on the street so that way they can walk all over us and make us kiss their feet and use us as furniture and use our skins as clothing, right? And accessories. Use our babies as crocodile bait, right? Alligator bait. But it's wrong for them to kiss our boots. We're evil Because all we're telling them is to kiss our boots. Despite the fact of everything they did. Look what they did to the greatest black man that ever walked the face of the earth. He's an innocent black man. And they sent him to capital punishment. They sentenced him to capital punishment. Our King Yahushua did nothing wrong, didn't lay a hand on them.
Right.
And yet they sentenced him to capital punishment, just like a lot of us. That's why you see why they were told to go into the mountains, because you see, they just, like I said, virus is natural living terrorists. All right? Now, I want to read this. You go hold there, just go from there to so the next book you will get is Psalms.
When we drop
Pull the chair to here. Pull that chair to
Yeah, why you standing up?
I just wanted to be loud.
All right. So I'm gonna read this right here real quick, and y'all can go look this up. But it's called the title is called White. It's not the Declaration of Independence. That's one document, right? That was signed by those. How many men, including Benjamin Franklin? About 42. Whatever amount of men that they locked themselves up, blah blah blah. And today you have the Constitution, right? And the Declaration of Independence, right? That's why the 4th of July and all this extra stuff, right? But then some white folks weren't having certain things because they were trying to associate themselves with being around black or what they call nigger lovers, right? So what I had to do was go simplify that document so that way people could clearly understand. I have both versions, the original version, but I went and had to simplify it so that way I could read it to you so that people could understand it better, right? So this was White Man's Declaration, the simplified version, right? In other words, layman's terms, all right? White official public statement, document with such a statement of independence, believing that the Constitution of the United States thought about a government to be carried on by an educated people, believing that its people who helped write the Constitution did not expect / look ahead to the granting the right to vote right to vote of a having no knowledge population of African origin. Talking about black people, and believing that those men of the state of North Carolina who joined in forming the union did not think about it for their children or their grandchildren, etc., subjection to an inferior race, right? So they believe that they're going to, like, it's the same narrative that they say today. Oh, if we let them come in, sooner or later there won't be no white people in this country. Everybody be brown and blah, 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 right? So that's what they were feeling then, all right? Let me continue. We, the people who signed an agreement, the people who signed an agreement, people who lawfully live in a country, state, etc., of the city of Wilmington and county of New Hanover, right? Because that's in North Carolina, right? Wilmington, North Carolina, right? And New Hanover. Do hereby declare that we will no longer be ruled and will never again be ruled by men of African origin. This condition we have in part lasted through and tolerated because we felt that the results of the war of breaking off of another country was such as to take away from us of the fair, in parentheses, serious thought / something to think about / respect of many of our other people who live in the same country. Okay? So they damn sure was trying to make sure that they don't become, subjugated to black people. All right? We believe that after more than 30 years, this is no longer the case. The stand we now promise ourselves is forced upon us to suddenly by a serious poverty, and our eyes are open to the fact that we must act now or leave our children, grandchildren, etc., to a unavoidable, already decided future to submit. See that? So that's what they were fearing. We're gonna be inferior. The same thing that they're saying today. The very same thing they're saying today. We therefore, believing that we represent definitely the feeling of the white people of the county and city, hereby for ourselves as representing them, right? Announce first that this is their declaration of. Announce first that the time has passed for the smart people who lawfully, this is in parentheses, who lawfully live in a county, state, etc. of the community, owing 90% of the property and paying taxes in like portions to be ruled by Negroes. In other words, they ain't having it, they pay their taxes, right? They feel like they're intelligent, right? They pay their taxes. They own 90% of property, and they're not gonna have black people take away what they work so hard for. Right? Second, that we will not tolerate the actions of dishonest white men in associating with the Negroes. So that's the part about the nigger level. They ain't gonna tolerate that either. Right? Because they feel that all white people should be together and separated from the Negroes. Go ahead.
So, is this showing like it sounds like it's showing like their fear for always knowing that we're better, that we'll come up over top of them.
And losing everything. What they work so hard for. They work so hard. In their opinion, when I say they work so hard, meaning in their mind, they think they work so hard to get everything that they have into this country. They work so hard. But historically, and reality was, there was no working. There was murdering and terrorizing and tyranny against the natives and black people of this land. To this day. Okay? In their mind, oh, we worked so hard to set up this country, so hard to acquire this land, so hard to set up businesses. We're not going to tolerate anybody that's going to take this away from you. Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of like this. It's so heavy. Even like everything that you just brought out in Job, it when you think about how America was built. Like they broke every law to create, to establish America. Violently, like raping, everything they've done. Like, so how couldn't you think? It's like one scripture, it's like,
Shalom de México, Shalom a Efraín Gutiérrez de México.
It's like that scripture say, you know what I mean? If not him, then who? What is that?
Maybe the Lord was just trying to let us know. I know what scripture you're talking about. Let me think. Right? He's trying to point out, right? In Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right? He changes the faces of the judges there.
Right.
Listen.
I
right there, KMC Baltimore. Shalom. Shalom. Yahweh Shema Al-Tama Shem Yahushai. Alright?
Hey, Shalom out, sir.
Yeah.
You just speak. Count out of one count.
Alright. So let me continue reading a little bit more of that declaration. This is heavy. Like I didn't know this existed, to be quite frank. I didn't know. But when I heard it, I read it, I was like, yo, it's incredible, right? Because they felt like the other Constitution, when they said we the people, of course, they purposely put it that way so that way it won't seem like they're extremely racist. These people here, this white declaration, they're showing you that they're racist. Right here. They're not holding back. Which I respect this more than the other one.
Come on.
Because at least I know what I'm doing. You know, don't act like you friendly and then you really are a murderer. Just show me you're a murderer. I will respect that. At least I know you stay away from me, I'll stay away from you. Simple as that. You know? Anyway, continue, right? This is the third part, right? Let me start from the top. No, wait. Okay, no, let me continue with the second part. Let me start with there. That we will not tolerate the actions of dishonest white men associated with the Negroes, so that means of air, both they can rule the smart and money-saving element of the community. Once again, when they're saying the smart and money-saving element, it's talking they remember they look at themselves like they've got more intellect than black people, right? And they know how to budget better than black people. And we're not gonna have the Negro rule over me because I'm smart and you're not, right? This way, causing business to go bad from not moving, meaning stagnant. That's what they feel like. So you'll have some Negroes around, we get no businesses, we'll get no business, because it'll go stagnant. Meaning, ain't nothing moving. It's going bad, right? And progress to be out of the question, right? But as we can see, white people, that right there was, because this country is running off of black and brown paper. So obviously, that fine. If they want, like in my view, I understand. You want that, no problem. But in the rest of the Israelites in the world, they don't see this. They think that, like for instance, when America decided to open up again, how many black and brown people ran into our own restaurants and our own businesses? I see more people running into Walmart, Target, KFCs, McDonald's. And I know I can say this clearly because of what I do with my side hustle. You know what I'm saying? And there are very few times I go pick up at the Benjamin spot. You know what I'm saying? Very few times I go. I have not yet picked up at the Simeon spot. Right? As ill as that sounds. Anyway, third, that the Negro has shown, this is a parenthesis, showed, or proved to be teasing and annoying our interests in every way, especially by his ballot. So even to go vote is a nuisance to white people. Right? That he is unable to do something of understanding, making real, or achieving. In other words, you Negroes are just too darn stupid to even breathe air the right way. That his interests are and should be identical with those of the community. Right? So instead of acting like the normal people of this community, you people are subhumans. Right? Fourth, that the progressive element in any community is the white population, and that the giving of nearly all the employment to Negro laborers has been against the best interests of this county and city. And it is a good reason why the city of Wilmington, with its natural advantages, has not become a city of at least 50,000 residents. So know where y'all standing whenever y'all go to Wilmington. They feel like that still to this day. Now we propose in the future to give white men a large part of unemployment up to now, right? So they propose to be giving white people, because up to now they've been giving it to black people, unemployment. So now they're proposing to give the white people employment, employment. So instead of hiring black people, and they do it by the ton, right? We rather give the employment to white people. Right? Because we understand, we achieve that white families cannot grow and do well here unless there are more opportunities for the employment of the different members of said families. This is 6. Now the white man expected to live in this community calmly and without fighting, to have and provide complete and total protection for their families. You know what that means? So being that they have to provide for their family, they will also want the right that if anybody comes to harm, for any reason, they want to kill you right on the spot. If they feel threatened, even if you're not threatening, and you black, and they feel you threatening, even though you're doing nothing wrong, You just probably walking the dog, right? Right in your bike. And they want to have that right to do whatever they want to do. All right. Let me see a little bit more. They're like this, like seven parts, right? But there's more after that. I'll stop at 7, just for the time's sake, right? Okay, so it says, who will be safe from insult and injury from all people, whomever. We are prepared to treat the Negroes with just and serious thought, right? Something to think about, some respect, right? What does that mean? That in their mind, if they feel like it's justified on killing you, right? They're prepared to do this, right? So in their mind, they're gonna find what they've always done, right? They are probable cause that you did it, right? And the jury of your peers will be the ones to judge you, right? Jury of your peers being all white folks in Wilmington. Go ahead.
Right. So, but even if they feel like maybe it wasn't sufficient for them to kill you, they'll just go and pull up your record, and hopefully they can build a good.
Just think about what that brother did that was just darting through that just so happened to peep inside that construction house. What was he doing? Jogging while black. So, but in the Edomites' mind, oh, you were thieves, so now they find it as justification in their mind. They find it that it's a right thing that they killed him. What was the reason? Well, he looked like he was stealing.
Let me hit my light, is that? Maybe
Now they're coming over here. Even my breath is getting it. All right, so let me continue. All right. Okay, so it says in all matters which do not involve sacrifice of inches of smart against the people, part of the community, but are equally prepared now and immediately to enforce what we know to be our rights. 7. That we have been in our desire for harmony and peace, blinded both to our best interests and our rights, and exciting part of something was reached when the Negro people of this city promised an article so disgusting and mean and untrue that it would, in most communities, have resulted in the murder by hanging by the neck of the editor. Okay, we insult murder by hanging the neck, and yet there is no punishment given by the courts good enough for this offense. We therefore owe it to the people of this community and of this city as a protection against such license in the future. That the paper known as the Record stop to be published and that its editor be kicked out from the community, from this community. We demand that he leave this. Okay, that goes into, that's something I'm going to look for, what was said in that article. But I can imagine the same thing. These people are doing this and that to us and treating us like this. But the same narrative we've been in for the last 400, 500 plus years, right? So now, there was another document I was trying to find, but I'm gonna give you this summarizing what I read. I was just trying to get here, but it was, I believe it was called Document of Destiny. Not quite too sure, but this document proves as to why in the mind of Esau, the Europeans, why when they were settling what is now the United States, they felt it was manifest destiny to do what they did. They felt like it was their God-given right to come out and slaughter everything and rape everything and pillage everything and do horrific acts on everyone that they saw in order to take this country. All right? Give me I want to say, give me overdose. He be over that 10, I want to say.
What you looking for, sir?
10. Over that 10. Oh, give me Ezekiel 35. We go there. Before we go over. If you could, if you have an apocrypha next to you?
I have it on my phone, sir.
All right. Finally, we're talking about that. Esau at the end of the world, Jacob was the beginning of the new.
Come on, sir.
Over that, Ezekiel 35. And we're going to start at, start at verse 2. You start at verse 1. And then we need to drop down with drop down.
It's Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
See that? This is the Lord. This is the word of the Most High. He said, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir. Mount Seir is talking about Esau, the Edomites. Okay? Sometimes he calls them Idumea. It's all the same thing. Okay? He said to set thy face. And how do you do that? Well, guess what? We're doing the same thing Ezekiel did, which was go out to the streets and prophesy against the so-called white man's kingdom, his rulership, against Esau, who is Mount Seir. Keep going. And he said, excuse me, Salakia. And he said prophesied against it, right? Because that's what prophets do. They always prophesied against principalities, against nations. That's all. That's what they do. They tell you what's going to happen to this kingdom, that people, so on and so forth. And there's always a reason as to why it's just what the Lord wants to do. And I know Christians might say, nah, but see, that's not my Jesus. You heard that term, right? That can't be my Jesus. God is an all-loving God. How are you going to say that about him? My God would never do that. But they forget the part when he flooded the earth.
God.
And they forget the part when he destroyed 5 cities of homosexuals and lesbians and all kinds of violence.
Come.
Right? But my Jesus, my God, right, loved everybody. Well, let's see how much love the Lord Most High is going to spread here. Keep going.
Verse 3, it say unto it, Thus saith the Lord God.
Right? Thus saith the Lord God. Not Captain Ashkapan, not Officer Elazar, not Officer Kawan Palam, not Commanding General Hunter. The Lord thy God is saying this. Keep going.
Behold,
right? Go ahead.
O Mount Seir, I am against thee.
A what?
I am against thee.
What?
I am against thee.
I heard the brother read it 3 times for you Christians that say God love everybody. Well, if God love everybody, why the hell is he saying to Mount Seir, I am against thee? I don't know. Let's break it down. We just read the White Declaration of Independence, right? Showing how they don't want black people around, right? Showing that black people, in their view, are unintelligent beings. In their view, are not more than mockers and will stagnate your business if they are around. Will destroy your community if they are around. The crime rate will go up if black people are around in your community. When it's clearly the other way around. Clearly. Not so much so only in America, but throughout the planet. Hey, dolphins aren't even safe. The killer whale isn't even safe from Esau. And they talk about Greenpeace. Really? The Lord said he's against Mount Seir. Keep going.
And I will stretch out my hand against thee.
You see that? For some reason, the Lord is extremely, to the umpteenth power, extremely mad at Esau. I don't know. Let's figure this, but let's talk about it. First, let's put this as like top bill. You hanged his son, Jesus Christ, on the cross, a black man. Capital punishment. An innocent man who did nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. Hey, so much so he never sinned. Yet you sentenced him to death. And on top of that, his people, you did the same thing to them. How many brothers and sisters right now are serving time in prison for petty things? You didn't pay a ticket. You missed a child support payment. You just so happen to walk not at the intersection. You so happen just to be living homeless. What do they call that? Favorite? What do they call it? Vagrancy? Something like that? When you're homeless, right?
Vagrancy.
Vagrancy, right? Because you put that on, right? Right? These are petty crimes and many more. Yeah, you locking us up. And sometimes, what about that case with that, how old was that brother? 12 years old? When it was the first kid, young black kid, and he executed? What was his crime?
Come on.
What was his crime?
Killing two white women that he wasn't innocent of.
So, allegedly killing, right? Allegedly killing, right? I remember now. Allegedly killing two white women. All right? What about that other brother? Because of one brother, according to them, allegedly was stealing and committed a murder. That first brother, by the last name of Anderson, I forgot the other brother's name.
George Stenley.
Who?
George Stenley Jr.
Is that name of that?
That was the black man, the black child that was executed.
Executed, yeah. George Stenley Jr. Right? Y'all can look him up. But another case was a brother, two brothers, right? One brother supposedly did some robberies and murder, but he went to trial. They never found him guilty of the murder, so they kept pushing and they arrested him for the robbery, right? The United Klansmen of America decided that some black man had to die, so they found any black man in the street and lynched him. They beat him up and lynched him. Because somebody had to pay. Right? There's another photo, you can find it if you want. It's a lot of those kind of stuff. Of the Klansman grabbing the brother and hog tying him, right? Reverse. And they put big heavy blocks, cinder blocks, on his back until the brother folded, where his head touched the back of his heel. Yeah. And they were Christians. Like, shall I go on? The abortion clip, shall I go on? Knees on the neck, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. What's the other one? He's got a hoodie on, the Skittles. Shall I go on? So the brother tripped, but they said he whistled at a white woman, Emmett Till. When the brother tripped and just accidentally grabbed the white woman, which later on the white woman confessed after the fact. Why? Because she knew she was in her last days. She came out and told the truth. But meanwhile, they had all America believing Emmett Till was a criminal. Should I go on? Huh? What they did to Aguaywana? Who's Aguaywana? Who's a cacique, a chief in Puerto Rico, right? They first took his brother, who Ponce de Leon, right? Befriended him, took him to the Dominican Republic, and started slaughtering all the Tainos in the Dominican Republic that killed him. I thought that was your friend. Should I go on? What they did to Crazy Horse? Should I go on? Huh? Historic, man. Now you see why the Lord said he's going to stretch out his hand. His hand. Read that line again.
Shalagi.
Go ahead.
Was that the Trail of Tears?
Oh, what? Let's talk about that too. The Trail of Tears. Why we bring this up? Wounded Knee.
Wounded Knee.
Both of them. Right? They first killed them. Talk briefly about Wounded Knee, real fast, right? Because I know we got some time. Real quick. Wounded Knee, right? They murdered and slaughtered hundreds upon hundreds of Native American Indians, right? I want to say by maybe like 2 centuries later, when you can look it up. Right there, Wounded Knee, FBI shoots more Native Indians. Right there, Wounded Knee. Shall we go on? Huh? going on. The list is long, man. It's ridiculously long.
Come.
I don't think if I start naming everything, this subject that we're talking about right now with Esau would not stop. And if your brothers want me to come back next week and give you more, damn right, I will do it. That's a long subject, you know.
Please.
We talk about Esau, right, and so on and so forth.
Baba Kushar.
But let me tell you something. There's a whole lot we can go into before we even move on to another subject with just Esau. Right? We can talk about Chinese people on another occasion and the history they have here in America towards us. Alright? But now, right? So now, I want you to read that line again. Somebody ain't get that, but he's fixing it. Put some tape on the side. You read that line again, brother.
I am against. Like when we start from the top.
Start from verse 3 again. Yeah.
And saying to it, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee.
See how the Lord said he is against Esau. We're bringing up charges right now against the Edomites. The Lord is the judge, right? We the prosecutor, right? No, the prosecutor be quiet, but we also, I guess we're the prosecution team. You know, you can say we're part of the prosecution team, and we gathering up the whole evidence, right? And some of us are the paralegals, the ones that go do the legwork to pull the evidence and bring it to the prosecution team. And the Lord is the judge. So far, they're guilty. The Lord said he's against Edom. He's stretching forth his hand. Right? Keep going.
And I will stretch out my hand against thee.
And guess what? When the Lord will stretch out that hand, boy, it ain't no joke. Go ask some people in the Midwest how many times the Lord stretched out his hands and whole cities got destroyed with the tornadoes. Huh? How about the people, the Edomites in Texas? They didn't just have a hurricane the other day? Right? You can ask them, them Edomites, how terrifying the Lord is. Ask them Edomites when they're on them ships and them waves come crashing down, how terrible the Lord can get. See, Christianity don't understand. God loves, but God also can be a terrible power.
That's right.
And you playing yourself thinking that God is an all-loving God. The only all-loving God is a homosexual God. This God that we're dealing with is not a homosexual God. This God is a warlord. Straight up, uber masculine warlord. Keep going.
And I will make thee most desolate. What? And I will make thee most desolate.
Not just desolate. It ain't just desolate, empty, dried up. It ain't just, it's most desolate. That's not like desolate 5.0, desolate 10.0 desolate. If you think he left Egypt desolate, no way, Esau most desolate. Keep going.
Verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste.
There goes New York, there goes California, there goes Washington, D.C., there goes Houston and Dallas and Louisiana, all their prominent places. Wilmington, North Carolina, New Hanover, I think it's North Carolina. All your prestige places that you hold dear to, Paris, London, right? Prague, what's the place in Germany? I think capital area. In Germany, yeah. Madrid is for Spain, all their capitals, so on and so forth. Germany, don't worry about looking it up. Europe, let's just say Europe, for time's sake. Greece, you know what I'm saying? All the European countries, all of Russia, right? Wherever the hell they're at, Australia, Austria, wherever the hell they're at, and they set up cities. God said he's going to lay them all waste. Keep going.
And thou shalt be desolate.
Dried up, destroyed completely, because what you've done to his people. You made us desolate. You laid us to waste. And you're still doing it. Now the Lord's going to turn it on you. Keep going.
And thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
For a long time, you're thinking that God don't exist. And the Edomites who call on the name of the Lord ain't really calling on the name of the Lord. They're calling on Isupkbmore. They call on the Lord.
It's like in Berlin.
Berlin, thank you.
It's like
Right? They call him the Lord Savior in body, Christ. Is what they call him. So you know that their God is Isupkbmore. All right? And it makes sense, right? Think about it. Isupkbmore was a murderer, was a pedophile, was a homosexual, was an inbreeder because he had sex with his own sister and his father and his brother. What you get out of Christianity? All of the above. Keep going.
Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
See that? Lord said that thou, meaning Esau, Mount Seir, has had a perpetual hatred, an everlasting hatred. You understand? A hatred that never go away. Why? Because he's jealous. He ain't as fly as us. Even the ones that of us that can't dance better than him. He doesn't get a square dancing.
square dance.
You know what I'm saying? But we better, athletically, we're better than them, even though they use all those enhancers, right? And they like to show you the commercials where they're super fit, jogging. You see them jogging everywhere. That's good. And Esau, keep jogging, please. Keep jogging, maintain your health. Maintain it, because we're going to need some good cotton pickers. We're going to need some good lettuce and tomato pickers. And it ain't going to be us picking them. So please, by all means, keep your workout regimen going. Keep lifting all the weights. Be the strongest man. Do those competitions, yes. Be Mr. Atlas, Mr. Universe, yes, please, do it all. Because we're going to need strong white people to move boulders of ore for us. And if you don't, we're just going to pass a train over you in the time comes. Simple as that. And when you get high and thirsty, no problem. I'll have a special pool for you. Yeah. It's going to be nice, clear, it's going to look cool in the day until you step into it. But that's when Christ comes. So right now, don't worry about it right now. Every God said right now, that's only when Christ comes. I ain't gonna do nothing to you now. You should be glad. But the Lord don't have to wait. That's why he's saying that he be giving them samples of his destruction. Tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, plagues, right? Coronaviruses, right? He feeding them a sample platter.
That's right.
Those samples, mind you, these are sample platters.
That's right.
Ain't the whole food course meal. Imagine when he comes and you feed him the full course meal. Boy, I don't want to be you. I don't want to be you. It's a sad day for him.
8:30, sir.
What? Keep reading.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
Right? Meaning, what is calamity? Calamity is trouble. So you mean to tell me, here's the people that are already struggling in life. Right? They're struggling to pay their rent. They're struggling to pay their life. They're struggling to keep their kids in school. Struggling to buy the school supplies. Struggling to feed the family. Struggling to get on that train so that when they get to work to do their 40 hours a week. Struggling to not get killed by the cops. Struggling to try and even have to bring a child into the world. Struggling just to make ends meet, period. And now you want to put your knee on our necks. Now you want to plant drugs on us. Now you want to convince our women to go to the abortion clinics. Now you want to use us as guinea pigs and give us like the Tuskegee experiment. What that drug was, syphilis. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to use Puerto Rican women like guinea pigs and try on the birth control pills.
Right.
Lord knows right now what they're trying to do with that human vaccine. Who's gonna be the people that were tested on it?
Right.
I'm not saying it is, but you have to raise up the question because if they get those things in the past, you understand? Or let's add some more. Why in our calamity? While we was high on heroin and a lot of us, I'm talking about tons of us, died of an overdose of heroin. It was never called a heroin. What do they call it today? Opioid epidemic. Meanwhile, some of our parents died while you were stuck in their vein.
Okay.
Some of us ended up in jail because we were selling it. If you think that was bad, was there ever a crack epidemic? They didn't call it that then, right? They didn't call it crack epidemic then, right? I believe so, right? Come on, you might know. I don't know how you, but come on.
No, that was right.
You
No,
know?
in the 80s.
Yeah. How old you then?
How old was I in the 80s?
Yeah.
10, something like that.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know, but you would.
Young man.
Nice try, though. You probably did see the after effects, but they didn't call it an epidemic then, right? They just called it, you know, us being criminals.
Criminals.
Super predators.
Come
That's what we would call it.
on.
Now they call it a crack epidemic because it got out of control. But you see how immediately, for them, they call it an opioid crisis, an epidemic, immediately. You can keep going the list over and over on down. It's much more than that, right? So the Lord said, in our calamity, right, thou hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. Well, I mentioned some of them earlier, by the force of the sword. Force of the sword is referring to a weapon. It could be a gun, it could be a rope. It's still nonetheless a weapon used to murder somebody. Okay? It could be the pill. Go ahead.
I got the end of the world scripture for you, sir.
What? Don't let it go. It's important.
Come on.
Keep going.
In the time that their iniquity had an end.
Meaning, right now, we're in the time where we paid for what we did wrong. What we did wrong, black and brown people, and children of Israel. Well, we decided once upon a time not to follow the Lord, not to do what He said by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. So, yeah, that was a crime that we did against our power. We broke the deal. There was a deal made between our forefathers and the Lord, and all we had to do was follow. That's it. Follow the rules and be brotherly towards each other. Be a tight-knit family. And we would have been fine. We would have been, Lord knows if we would have done what we were supposed to do, right now, we'd have been the ones that are running the planet. Right now, but since we didn't, we had to come and pay for our iniquities in the form of captivity, in the form of letting these other nations oppress us. That's where we fell off. But now here we paid our debt. But now, with all that, they still hurting us. They're still murdering us. Keep going.
Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
Because, see that the Lord say, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. They got a little taste of it, right? When they had the terrorist attack 9/11, right? They got a taste of it when, like I said, the Lord said those tornadoes and earthquakes, all the natural disasters, right? The plagues that is going on now, the COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? and so on and so forth. There'll be more than the AIDS, right? There'll be more things to come. Keep going. Oh, let me stop. Let's throw in this much. What's the name of that place in Florida where the kid went up and shot the school? And then the Sandy Hook was another thing, right? Sandy Hook was another school shooting, you know what I'm saying? But what about the newspaper place here in Maryland, where the dude went up and shot everybody? That's a whole domestic terrorism. That's a little taste. Go ahead.
I think that was the Sun. The Sun newspaper.
It's called Parkland, Florida.
Nicholas Cruz.
Yeah. It's somewhere in Parkland, Florida.
Parkland,
right?
Florida. Nicholas Cruz.
Right? Those are called domestic terrorism. And they shooting white kids. White kids killing white kids. See how that works? I stretch out my hand. Right? And I shall prepare thee the blood, and blood shall pursue thee. See how that works? So blood pursue me to keep going.
See, thou hast not hated blood.
You don't hate seeing blood being spilled, right? You like killing, right? You enjoy it. You get a kick out of it, right? You like murdering, right? And guess what? And there's other cases where you kids, but let's talk about the psychopaths above John Wayne Gacy. Right? There's a white man who owned a construction business, and his side hustle was to dress up as a clown. But he used to take people home who would never go home. And when they finally busted him, he had bodies under the floor. Bodies. Who else? Go ahead.
So they got the movie from an actual guy?
I'm pretty sure that they got the concept. Now, there's this other Edomite who would murder people, and through here they got 3 movies out of here. They got Psycho, they got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's one dude, I forgot his name. I'm gonna do a TikTok on him. I did one on John Wayne Gacy. And Jeffrey Dahmer. I did a TikTok on them. So check it out. But we forget the other psychos. They're famous psychos. Famous murderers. You don't know who these guys are? Who am I talking about?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay, besides them. Making you think of it. Let me see anybody online. I mentioned Jeffrey Dahmer. I mentioned John Wayne Gacy, right? We're talking about Esau, since he likes shedding blood, right? Well, who other famous Edomites are famous for shedding blood? And they famous. Everybody should know their names. I don't want to give away certain clues to Black Cat Drive. I want you to think of it.
So, like, are you talking about fictional characters or real life?
Jeffrey Dahmer was real, right? You know about that.
Come.
John Wayne Gacy was real. And I was listening about this other Edomite. I forgot his name, but they based 2 movies off of him. I think maybe a third. But when they found the bodies in his house, he had furniture, right, with faces of the people he murdered, right? And he had the body of his mother still there. They decayed in the bed. So they based the movie Psycho off of him, and also Texas Chainsaw Massacre off of him. Go ahead.
Ted Bundy.
That's another one, right? Ted Bundy. I was thinking about it, just couldn't get the name right. Right. Now, those were known, right? But you missing the other mass killers who were never gave it to you. Hamilton, Jefferson.
Did we say Jeffrey Dahmer?
You said Jefferson. Why did I say Jefferson?
Jefferson?
President Jefferson was a mass murderer.
Come.
Who he murdered in mass quantities? Native American Indians.
Come. He was the one that hit the babies against the rocks.
This one, he was a general. When he became president, he did more than that.
Come,
And he set
sir.
custard out too.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Come,
But were those
sir.
not mass murderers?
Come.
Right? Who was mass murderers? Ponce de Leon. The conquistadors. Were they mass murderers? Oh. You don't know this?
I know that. Come, sir.
Oh, man. We read that has, right? Read that out with the blood again.
See,
Yeah, see that thou hast.
Say, thou hast not hated sin, thou hast not hated blood, even blood pursued thee.
See that thou hast not hated blood, even blood pursued thee.
You want verse 8, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, since they didn't hate blood, that's why I mentioned all these serial killers, mass killers. You know what I'm saying?
Verse 8. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men in thy hand.
So you can imagine, to fill his mountain with slain men. That's a whole lot of people.
Come.
A whole lot of people.
Ooh.
A whole lot of Edomites going to die that day. Give me some examples on how. The state facility, how? Go ahead.
How they would die.
Yeah, good. Remember, you just read, what you're reading is a future prophecy. What you're reading right now is a future prophecy, right? So give me some examples. What would be some of those examples? How blood is going to pursue thee. And he said he's going to fill their mountains with what? How we said it?
I will fill his mountains with his slain men.
Right? With their slave men. So give me some examples. Go ahead.
Maybe, like I said, I will fill his mountains with his slain men. Maybe I'm trying to, at some point, try to escape what's going on and go into the mountains and they die. I know, like the movies where
What was on the mountain, right?
Right.
He's talking to Mount Seir. That's who he's talking to. That's the mountain right here. What about you? Come on, before I give it away.
All the people that he's killed, all the victims.
Remember, this is a future prophecy, but that's also part of it. Go ahead.
It's a future prophecy.
Those he did would be part of this also, but now when he said filled with, right? He's going to make it most desolate. So to let you know this is future. Right? Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against it, I will stretch out mine hand against it, and I will make thee most desolate. Make thee, not made thee. Make. Let you know it's for the future.
Come.
Right? Made is past tense, make can be present or future, right? And I will means it's what happened, right?
Come.
Now, Back to the question. Go ahead.
It means the destruction of white supremacy in the earth.
I will read that again. That also is included with it. But it's just real simple. You're overthinking, both of you. Read it again.
Verse 8, and I will fill his mountains with his slain men.
Right? I will fill his mountains. And I will fill his mountain or mountains? Mountains, right? Meaning everywhere he goes, right? But he's talking to Mount Seir, meaning the Edomites, right?
Come on.
And I will fill his mountains with the slain, right?
Slain, man.
Well, verse
8.
And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, right? Meaning his governments, right? His big governments, right? That's the mountains and the hills are small governments.
Come on.
Right? And in thy valleys, right? Keep it, read to the end, and I'll just give it to you.
And in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers, shall they fall that are slain with the sword.
So remember, all this is future, right? Future. For time's sake, World War III.
Come on.
Right? Thermonuclear explosion, see that? America get destroyed from east coast to west coast, north to south, right? Burn the lake of liberty, right? The river of fire and brimstone, right?
Right.
Right? They'll say that in that day all the elements are going to melt, even stone. Right? And then those that are left over there in the east, right? Europe, they get hunted. How you know this? Get scripture. Get scripture.
Can I paraphrase it?
Get the scripture, man. Think doomsday.
What
Think
scripture
doomsday
you
reference.
looking for?
I will send vision.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them, yes. But also there's one in Revelation where it talks about you know, pull them out the hole. Because they got a bunch of doomsday preppers, right? They got thumbs. You know what thumbs? Deep underground military bases. When you get those dudes also trying to think that they're doing. Will literally be pulling them right out of the holes and slaughtering them. Those that do survive, well, they're going to wear chains and shackles. They go right into slavery. But find those scriptures. Go ahead.
Alright, I ain't trying to get out of the scripture, but alright, so like even when they say, so this could be like, this can help out when they like when people try to say that Russians are different from like Europeans or other white, like they all white, because they say that they're blood, like so they gonna go to war and they'll destroy each other, their blood.
Okay, no, it's not just them, it's not just them themselves, it's them and their allies. Their allies include Africans, right? Arabs, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, right? East Indians and Polynesians, right? And unfortunately, some Israelites. Some Israelites don't want to change what they're doing. They're too comfortable with it. Unfortunately. All right? No, the scripture said 2/3 of his people are going to die. Our hopes is that don't happen, that we all get saved, that we all get saved out of here. That's our hope. You know, but what if something don't change? Go ahead.
It does say all of Israel.
And so all Israel shall be saved, right?
Come on.
But then it also says 2/3 of Israel shall get sanctified, right?
Is that after
No.
life after?
Think like the same thing with Jonas.
Come on.
Right? That's all you gotta do. The same thought process. Right? The Lord wanted to destroy this place, right? Which was Nineveh, right?
Come on.
And Jonas didn't really want to do it. The Lord made it force him to go do it. Remember, just short of the story, but you can go read it.
Right.
Then he went and prophesied against Nineveh, but the Lord decided not to kill him. And said, spare Nineveh. Right? With Paul and this school, right? The hope is that the Lord spared all of us.
Come on.
No guarantees though. You feel me?
Salaki, one last question, sir. Salaki. After the coming of Christ,
Hold on. Can you write down that question? Because I want to get the precept that I asked for. I got to read what you said, but no, as a matter of fact, let me address it, then we'll go back to it.
go on.
After the coming of Christ.
After the coming of Christ, will Israelites still have the opportunity to die and then get it right?
Yeah.
Then at some point, all of us will be right in the kingdom.
Yeah.
Come.
Does that mean because we're in the kingdom, will we never ever be tempted to want to sin?
Lie.
No, it'll happen too there.
Come.
Only difference is that you're not going to have that opportunity.
Come.
Right here, because America the way it is, you have the opportunity to live out your lust. If you want. In the kingdom, just think about that. You're a guy, you start thinking that guy is good. Or even you thought about it and you come, you be the priest knocking somebody door. You got the scroll with you. So you want to be gay. Read. See the difference?
Come.
See the difference? You're not really, you will get tempted, but the just the thought of even you trying to go there with it, the best safest thing to do, like I don't even want to entertain what it would be like to be gay.
Right.
That's how it was supposed to be in the beginning.
Come.
You're supposed to go, don't be gay, that's it. You know, okay, why does he want me to be gay? It was never supposed to be that. Why doesn't he want me to explore what it is to be gay? The Lord already knew, but here's the reason why. You can get sick, die of a serious horrific disease. What's the number one reason? Right. But that's not the number one reason. It is, but that's not the number one reason.
Children.
It's not the number one reason. Because I told you so. Don't do it.
Salaki. You right.
That's the number one reason. No. We're not supposed to go. What would happen? Don't sniff cocaine. Don't smoke weed. So our mind's supposed to be okay, now I'm not gonna do it. But then, what would happen if I did take a sniff of coke? What if I smoked that crack? But now you get Cubans, now you're paying for it. When you were not supposed to touch it in the first place. You were told not to do it.
Come.
So now addressing the other question, right? The other two scriptures I wanted. The fishermen and then become hunters, that's one of them. Right? You have to find it. We're gonna end it with the Jacob is the beginning of the new.
Come, sir.
Right? We're gonna end it with that one, but find the one with, let me help you.
You want that now?
So that one we're gonna end it with that.
Come.
I got many fishes. You wanted the other one, though, right? You didn't want
Yeah, read that one too.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16. Behold, I will send many fishes, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them, and after will I...
You understand that you will send many fishes, they shall fish to me. What we are right now is fishing spiritually. We're fishing who? Israelites to come in, right? To bring them into the school. That's the whole job, right? You go out, teach, eventually you coming, I coming, right? Somebody taught, we heard it, we came in, right? We got caught on the hook, we're hooked, right? And now we here, boom. Now, they trained us to do what they did, and now we go out to be more, right? We do it right now. Right now, this is camp also. We do it in class, but it's camp, right? Keep going.
And after will I send for many hunters.
After you're going to send for many hunters. What do hunters do? They hunt, right? Right? Normally you hunting for your food, right? Something like that, right? This time you're hunting for fugitives. Alright? Keep going.
And they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. That's the kind of.
That's it, out of the holes of the rocks. That's the right one. Perfect. They gave me both. Right? Out of the holes of the rocks. Why? Because these people are doing day preppers. They prep. You got people right now who, if the Civil War breaks out, like it was prophesied to break out. When I say Civil War, what am I really saying?
Race war.
Race wars, right? This one would be like boom. When those people are prepared, they got stockpiles of weapons, stockpiles of MRAs, right? What was in the military? Like ready-made foods and so on and so forth, right? So they live, some of them even have whole cities out there, you know what I'm saying? Private cities. You know what I'm saying? They have all the plant seeds, right? They have irrigation systems, they have electrical systems, plumbing systems deep down. And then the military got their deep underground military bases. You know what I'm saying? And that day we went to hunt them. That day. And with that, give me that last scripture.
Come on, sir. Second it.
I'm still searching for that document of justice. I want you to hear the mentality and the goal to even write that document.
So like 2 Ezra 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
Right, so Esau means not the end of the planet Earth, but the end of the world, the end of society. The end of their society. Meaning what? That no longer ever in the history of the planet Earth will there ever be another nation to rule the planet Earth. The Earth had several different nations ruling the planet Earth. But now it's going to be who? Keep reading.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
The Israelites. Jacob, talking about the families that came out of Jacob. The Israelites. We're the beginning of the world that's to follow, meaning the society. Once Christ comes back, once the Lord sends Christ, the world that as you know it today will no longer be ruled by any other race. No longer will you see Edomites or Caucasians, for that matter, ruling anything on the earth. And no longer will any Chinese rule anything. No longer Japanese or Arabs or East Indians or Polynesians, Africans, Ethiopians, so on and so forth. No longer will any of these races rule. From here on in, once Christ comes, it's going to be ruled by blacks and so-called Latinos, so-called Native American Indians, who are the children of Israel. You might not like that, but guess what? It's going to happen anyway.
Right.
And too bad, because it's already prophesied.
Damn right.
We drink that down. Go home and drink that with your shot. We're done with passing class, so officer, priesthood officer, Island.
So security announcement. You got an Isupkbmore out of 1 West, 125th Street, under Commander General Yan. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be secluded only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to marry to a brother,
they hate to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to murder. Dice, which is the commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, and is pronounced by Asherah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer from priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, we are still waiting for word from the head about the Passover. Just keep in contact with your city's camp leaders. Make sure you check on YouTube, Facebook, isupkbmore.com. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. With that, man, Isupkbmore, we can stand. Mighty Shabbat, Barak. Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahshua
Yazimata.
Yazimata. Francis Smith.
Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a